It's your boy Mardio, and we back at it again with another reaction, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm kind of sick right now. You know, I got me some tea right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to miss no days like that. Reacting. I enjoy this, so it don't matter how painful I am in. I'm still gonna try to figure out to push out some videos. But today we got the truth about Larry Bird legendary story. You know what I'm saying? But before we start this video, man, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all want to see next, man. Make sure y'all just continue to keep building a relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ. You know, without him, we are nothing at all. We blessed to be able to wake up every single day, and y'all react to this video every single day. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's a lot of y'all that really support me and just continue to, like, you know, doing everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy for y'all just staying tuned and just, you know, watching my videos. But let's get straight into this video, man. My fault, man. I'm talking crazy.
So I'm hoping today's video is the start of a new series, and I gotta be honest, if it is, I believe it will be my most exciting video series to date. In this video and in this potential series, I'm researching some epic basketball stories about some of the greatest players of all time. I'll do my best to research these stories and figure out what specific games they're talking about, and I'll also do my best to inform you guys on the details of the event. Today, I have a story from the legendary Boston Celtic, Kevin Mchale, as he explains his favorite story about his longtime teammate, Larry Bird. Take a listen.
I want you to go back. I want you to go deep into time. You and Larry Bird, teammates for a long time. What's your best Larry Bird story?
I think the story that sums up Larry the best was back when we flew commercial, we didn't fly private. We played in a Tuesday night game in Cleveland. And of course, we got up for the first flight out. We had a game on Wednesday night in New Jersey. Snowstorm hits Cleveland. We're at the airport at 7 in the morning. Flight's canceled at 7. It's canceled at 8. It's canceled at 9. It's canceled at 10. Canceled at 11, 12. We finally leave about 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon. We fly up to New Jersey. Now the storm has kind of moved into Jersey. And the bus driver says, well, I can't get to the airport. I can't get to the hotel and to the arena. I can only go to one place. Well, we had a game that night. We go to the arena. So we get to the arena, and I mean, we're dragging. And we're sitting around the locker room, and, you know, and everybody's kind of, you know, we're tired. And, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, the coach gives a little bit of a speech of, come on, man, guys, we're playing basketball. Let's get ready to go. And Larry stands up, and Larry says, a couple other few choice words, and he says, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to take it out on their rear ends. So I was like, oh, all right, so let's go. So we go on the floor. Albert King sitting there, and Larry walks up to Albert King and goes, don't take this butt whooping personally. I've been eating hot dogs all day. And then Albert King looks at him like, you've been eating hot dogs all day? What's that got to do with me?
Lizzie?
And we went out and just hammered him. I mean, we terrorized him. And that was Larry. There was no excuses. I mean, he just played. And I tell you, that was just his competitive nature. But a day when you fly all day and eat hot dogs in the airport, best thing was Albert's look on his face like, what hot dogs got to do with me?
So here's the thing. I did the research, and this never took place exactly the way that Kevin Mchale described it. This isn't necessarily a surprise, because when older retired players are talking about past memories that took place decades ago, it's understandable that some of the details get lost or embellished over time. Here's what you need to know. During Larry Bird and Kevin Mchale's careers as teammates, they never once played in Cleveland and then in New Jersey on back-to-back nights. So some of the details of this story must be incorrect, considering how he name-dropped specifically Albert King of the New Jersey Nets on the second night of the back-to-back, and since that was the player that Bird trash-talked to, that is probably the team that is correct in this story. Now, Albert King played for the New Jersey Nets from the 1981 to 82 season through the 1986 to 1987 season. So that is the 6-season stretch that I started researching. In that specific time frame, the Celtics played in New Jersey on the second night of a back-to-back a total of 6 times.
Really?
In those 6 instances, the Celtics lost to the Nets twice.
Damn.
In 3 of those 6 instances, the New Jersey game was preceded by a Celtics home game. So according to Mchale, the games took place on back-to-back nights. Both games were road games. They were up against Albert King and the New Jersey Nets on the second night of a back-to-back, and the games occurred on a Tuesday and a Wednesday night. Literally, only one instance in NBA history fits this description, and because of this, I believe I found the games that Kevin Mchale was talking about. It was a back-to-back matchup with the Milwaukee Bucks and the New Jersey Nets that began on December 3rd, 1985, which does match Mchale's claim of the games occurring during the winter season. The first game was a matchup with a strong Milwaukee Bucks squad, loaded with stars like Sidney Moncrief, Terry Cummings, and Paul Pressey. The Bucks had a solid 15-6 record, while the Celtics were bolstering a league-best 15-2 record.
Wow.
On the first night of a back-to-back, it was actually Kevin Mchale who stood out with a dominant performance, as he dropped 29 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 5 blocks on a tremendous 11 of 16 shooting from the
I didn't know
field.
Kevin Mchale was that,
Meanwhile,
nice.
Bird was being guarded by the lockdown defender Sidney Moncrief, and as a result, he didn't have his best performance, as he finished with 18 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 turnovers
Yeah, everybody got
on
that
8 of
game.
18 shooting.
That's 18 points.
Regardless, the Celtics finished the game strong and won this epic battle of Eastern Conference contenders with a final score of 112 to 109. But this is when the story started to become interesting and unique. According to Mchale, the Celtics were sleep deprived, they were physically exhausted, they were frustrated with all the flight delays, they were uncomfortable from riding coach, and now they had to play the second night of a back-to-back against a playoff-bound New Jersey Nets team,
Wow.
who had star players like Otis Birdsong, Michael Ray Richardson, and Buck Williams. After a miserable evening, morning, and afternoon of eating awful airport hot dogs, Bird was ready to execute his wrath on Albert King and the New Jersey Nets. Now, based on Mchale's explanation of the story, you would think that Bird just exploded for about 50 points or so,
Right.
while being loaded up on nasty hot dogs. But that
Hot dogs
actually
mess your
wasn't the
stomach up.
case, if this game was in fact the game he was talking about. If anything, it was quite the team effort, as Bird was 4th on the team in scoring as he dropped 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists on 8 of 16 shooting. The Celtics seemed to be motivated and angry as a squad, as Danny Ainge scored 26 points, Dennis Johnson had 23 points, and Kevin Mchale had 22 points. As a whole, Boston shot a ridiculous 62.2% from the field over the course of the game. And due to this, New Jersey simply couldn't keep up, as the Celtics won
That's good
every
stats
quarter,
for starting
finishing the
lineup.
game with a victorious final
Everybody
score
down there
of
having
130 to 111. And I'm
That's
sure
king right
the
there.
Celtics finally proceeded to have a good night's sleep. Ultimately, I can't say with absolute 100% certainty that this was the game that Mchale was describing. But based on all of the evidence he provided, this is at least a pretty safe bet. At the end of the day, this performance wasn't quite as dominant as we were led to believe it was for Larry Bird. But if anything, it remains as a funny and triumphant story of a team channeling their anger and frustration towards success. So what do you guys think? What is another NBA story that I should research and make a video on?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like that's a legendary story. Actually, a legendary story, because, like, I'm a person that I like hot dogs too. You know, probably a lot of y'all out there like hot dogs and stuff, but hot dogs really, if you eating a lot of hot dogs, like, you stiff, you mad stiff. You can't do nothing. You can't do as much. You know what I'm saying? And he still proceeded to win and have 18 points, and his other teammates had over 20. That's a good game. You know what I'm saying? Everybody over 15 points. Oh my God, that's a legendary game. And they had like 130 points. Come on now, that's a legendary. Larry Bird can do anything. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he can do anything. You know, he can have a couple beers. Like how Mike, he have a couple beers and still go crazy. You know what I'm saying? But y'all let me know how y'all feel about that story, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Pray for me, man. I'm going to pray for y'all as well. Thank y'all for watching me. Hopefully I become one of y'all favorite reactors. I'm going to see y'all in the next video. And I'm out. Damn.